Hi, welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and thank you for tuning in. I do apologize for being late. A couple of technical gremlins flying around the place there, as we often cannot miss them as we go along the lines there. But yes, welcome to another week, another day, another dollar. I nearly missed you this week because my internet was down. We're still at home. I'm still at school, but the teachers are still at home. I wonder how it's going in your home there. But yes, for starters, let me not forget the please like and subscribe. It's the only way I can get my message out there. I seem to be fading with subscribers. I wonder if it's because I'm pro-vaccination that it is a problem as such, because I think I was on 51. We're down to 47. So I'm not even aiming for the 100,000 yet. I'm aiming for 100, and we seem to have lost 3 in the process. So I'm very sorry if I offended anyone in the process. Doesn't seem to be very difficult to offend people these days as such either. But yes, there was also, I don't know if I'm actually going to find this one. There was also a video I wanted to show you of going through the streets. Let me see if I can get that one. Okay, I know you've always asked, you're wanting to see a little bit of the streets, but anyway, right, Pepper's Echo, please, if you want to come on the show, if you've got anything interesting to talk about, doesn't have to be political, doesn't have to be South African, doesn't have to be Cambodian, whichever you would prefer to actually chat about, or if there is an idea that you have or a topic that you would like us to bring up, I really, really would appreciate if you would drop us a line at Pepper's Echo, PEPRS ECHO @gmail.com. Yes, no double P, no E. It is like that, PEPRS ECHO.com. I would really, really appreciate if you would drop us a line in there as such. And then, yeah, this is the live echo that you're watching as such. My name's Andre. It's basically just a viewpoint from an ordinary man in the street from the outside looking in. I look at a couple of things that are happening, maybe chat about a few things here and there, sometimes troll a little bit of Twitter. Today, we've got a few other little things going up and down. We're looking at the ANC's facing election chaos, a little bit more into what Eskom has dug up, looking at the unemployment rate, KwaZulu-Natal MEC not abiding to the COVID-19 restriction rules, and then a little bit of tension in the DA apparently, but I do not believe so. I do believe it is the same as the ad we're going to watch from Nando's, and then of course a little bit of good news for the students about the school holidays, and we'll take a look at the new Nando's ad as well. I hope they don't mind. Once again, nothing over here is mine. Anything that I have got, I did have the source. I do apologize that it has somehow technically been lost. I will do my very best to retrieve all the source pages and place them back at the bottom in the description as well. Once again, for those of you who've tuned in, thank you very much. For those who are watching live, I really appreciate it. Please do smash the like button and hit the share. It's the only way that I do get out there. Yes, and let me know if I should change time or place, because yeah, Pepper's Echo, I am actually under the concern of whether I should be stopping it or not as such, because of the numbers that are dropping. It's been going almost a year, and somewhere along the line, either we've got to read the signs, as they say. But anyways, so you have asked, I have had some questions. So what does it look like in Cambodia, etc., etc.? And so I figured I would just, today we went off to a spot in town to go and have something to eat. And I thought, oh, well, I'll stick the phone out the door and give you a little bit of a look at what it looks like driving down one of the, I wouldn't say main roads. It's sort of just a street road in the city of Phnom Penh. Take the next right toward Priya Norwood Boulevard, 40
41, then turn left onto Prioridum Boulevard, 41.
Okay. And yeah, as you would hear, my GPS is on to make sure that the tuk-tuk driver is taking me to the right spot. But there you'll find...
meters, turn right toward Prioridum
Oh,
Boulevard, 41.
pretty insistent there to turn right. There's your clothing store. I mean, you couldn't do that in South Africa. You would have your whole shop stolen apart. That's quite amazing. Tuk-tuks, bikes, everything. This is why I say the pavements are sometimes not possible. Because pavements are claimed as shop areas and parking areas. And yeah. I'll show you another short one now as well. That's my one. And then to get up the other one. There we go.
Take the next right toward Prioridum Boulevard, 41. Then turn left onto Prioridum Boulevard, 41.
Okay. Right, but yes, so I thought I'd just give you a quick little ride. As soon as I can get out a little bit more, we will do a little bit more, but this was a quick sneak to catch a little bit of a bite to eat on a Sunday, just somewhere so that we could just get out, because you get a little bit crazy staying at home. I don't think I need to tell you guys that, because I think you guys experience it firsthand in South Africa and in Cambodia. Well, it is a little bit more reasonable, let me put it that way. But then again, the people are a little bit more reasonable in Cambodia. Everyone is getting their vaccination done. For me, South Africa, no wonder you've got such a bunch of wallies running the country, because nobody can stand together. Everyone has this little entitlement of it is my right. So, you know what? Take your right and go for it. But let's take a look at those little wallies in the process over there, and let's see what's happening there. The ANC faces election chaos. Yeah, they're a little chaotic at the moment, if we could say the least. The ANC faces the prospect of losing several key municipalities without even putting up a fight after it failed to submit a full list of candidates to the Electoral Commission of South Africa on time. They are never on time. That's why South Africa's vaccines couldn't come in on time. That's why they couldn't start vaccinating on time. I don't know what else they just don't do. The only thing on time is stealing their money. But yeah, I'll just put on to comments. The ANC failed to submit a complete list of names in 35 municipalities, and City Press has learned that most of the municipalities in the northwest are affected. Several other provinces are also affected by this mess. That's not the best yet. Muntlana learned during a virtual meeting on Friday with all ANC provincial list committees that a lack of resources, selfish interests, poor planning, and factional differences contributes to the government's party failure to register candidates in some municipalities before the IEC closed on the registering process on August 23rd. You know what? We're so used to everything bending in our favor. ANC has got to learn to start leading. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I think they need to start leaving. Some regional ANC structures have been accused of sabotage because they were upset that they no longer had a final say in choosing candidates, as community members who are not necessarily card-carrying ANC members have now been given a say in who stands for election. In some instances, ANC branches' preferred candidates were rejected by the communities. They can't even agree by themselves. The crisis was exacerbated by a strike at Luthuli House by workers who had not been paid for 3 months and refused to help compile the lists. I wonder where Noddy was then, eh? Old Noddy Nios. But anyway, the party has now, listen to this, embarked on a crowdfunding initiative to alleviate its financial woes. An official poster with the ANC's banking details was published on social media on Friday, asking members to contribute to the party. With tears in my eyes, guys, they can't even agree with each other. South Africa can't agree with each other. Who's going to contribute? Yeah. Probably, let me not go down that road, but yeah, crowdfunding. When the leading party, when the party in power has to turn to crowdfunding to pay their people so that they can go into elections. No wonder they're wanting them postponed. It's got nothing to do with COVID. But let's take a look at another way that these bananas have been putting their hands into the cookie jar. And it's something that I have felt very strongly about, especially since Andre de Ruyter was accused of racism when he took over Eskom, how he found that the chief procurement officer or director or whoever the position is was not managing his position properly. Let's take a look at another little, how should we say, etch that came across. An irate Andre de Ruyter. So let's take a look. It says 80,000 Rand pair of knee guards. Very expensive knee guards. But narrator Andre de Ruyter, Eskom's chief executive, personally helped identify more than 3 million Rand in overpayments made to suppliers for knee guards. And in less than 2 weeks, the company recovered more than 1 million Rand. Now, I know in South Africa, you are suffering with the price of electricity, and it's just going up, and it's just going up, and it's just going up. I don't think there's a week that goes by that I don't speak with friends or family that says, even prepaid electricity units that we used to get are just, it's pathetic, the pittance of units that you now get for the amount you've got to pay. Let's take a look. Are we paying for electricity, or were we paying for people's back pockets? And are we now paying to right a wrong of the past? If they've had to recover 3 million already just on certain purchases, but listen to these purchases. De Ruyter previously told News 24 that Eskom in past paid up to 80,000 Rand for a set of knee guards. Those things that you used on a skateboard, that you used to use on a BMX bicycle. It costs anything between 100 and 300 Rand at a hardware store. That's if you're using real deal, good, proper, goodness knows, knee guards. 100 to 300 Rand. Are we paying 80,000 Rand for a set? Eskom workers use the knee guards when they scour and clean the insides of pipes, chimneys, and other areas at the power stations. Between 3 August and 16 August, De Ruyter personally investigated the source of overpayments and invoicing for knee guards from 2 other suppliers, totaling around 2 million Rand. News 24 understands. Now, you know where I got my source from over here. One of the suppliers has since admitted to receiving inflated payments. So they inflated payments to the supplier as well. So News 24 previously reported that De Ruyter, while explaining abuses that are still going on in the system, which I have reported on from News 24 as well, lamented the fact that Eskom had paid 80,000 Rand for knee guards, which go for 80 Rand each at Builders Warehouse. A single pair of knee guards now goes for between 100 to 300 Rand at that outlet. But Eskom paid 80,000 Rand, and you're wondering what you are paying for in your electricity. Well, let's take a look-see further on. De Ruyter confronted a former employee on 4th of August 2021 about links to a supplier who turned out to be a relative. The employee who left Eskom in November last year was responsible for contracting and transacting with the supplier, this is who is now a relative, and ensured payment of more than 1.1 million Rand. That was paid. There was seemingly no indication that the knee guards were ever delivered. So we paid 1.1 for knee guards that weren't delivered. And the employee repaid the money within 24 hours. This is after they were found out. Eskom is, however, still taking legal action against the former employee and the supplier. So employee, relative, pay for knee guards, don't get it delivered, take 1.1 million. And we are wondering why we are paying the amount we are paying for electricity. You're not paying for electricity. You're paying for selfish, scrupulous people enriching themselves. Let me not lose myself unnecessarily. The Rater and Eskom are also in the process of getting back just over 2 million from 2 other suppliers of knee guards. In one case, the supplier received over 1 million rand in overpayments, too much, but is seemingly not cooperating with the investigation. You paid me, tough is. In the second case, the supplier paid 4,000 for knee guards, but I charged Eskom, what? The supplier paid 4,000 for the knee guards, but charged Eskom 934,000. That's a 930,000 profit on 4,000 rands of knee guards. When confronted, the supplier acknowledged the inflated pricing. Eskom has entered a legal process to recoup the money. Now, this is just a part, and I wasn't going to go on and on and on about Eskom, and I know I've had a couple of points on Eskom as well. But it's just that if these are some of the small things that we're pulling out of Eskom, what are you paying for? Is it electricity you're paying for or self-enrichment that you're paying for? Because these people have mismanaged Eskom. It's like and I haven't got that story in here, the Minister of the Defense, she was, I don't know what minister before, she left that farm that, she had a farm that the SPCA said was the worst case of animal cruelty that had ever been seen when they got there. There was animals that had died of hunger. I think over 200, almost 300 animals, if not more, had to be put down. And I mean, the pigs were drinking urine, trying to drink urine. They were eating dead carcasses. They were trying to eat piglets. What did they do with her? They made her Minister of Defense. And what did they do? They dispatched a group of soldiers to KwaZulu-Natal. And just the other day, believe it or not, Julius Malema got a tweet or message, I think it was in tweet, from a soldier saying, please, somebody help us, because it came to light that the soldiers had not got food in 5 days. They hadn't been delivered food. I don't know if there was not enough food. The food wasn't of the right quality or whatever, but bottom line is they hadn't been given food. They had been promised food allowance. They hadn't been given food allowance. So I ask you with tears in my eyes, somebody who couldn't manage a farm now needs to try and manage our troops, and our troops who are dispatched to KwaZulu-Natal cannot be fed. How on earth are we going to feed troops if we dispatch them to Mozambique to fight ISIS? I mean, you can't have troops fighting if you do not feed them. I mean, not that I am actually convinced that we have very, very capable troops, if I can put it that way. Job seekers flock to a proposed Amazon site in Cape Town. Now, this is a bit sad as well. Hundreds of job seekers, and I mean, this is like really teasing and carroting hungry people. Hundreds of job seekers queued on Wednesday at the River Club in Observatory in Cape Town in the hope of a job in the controversial development, which is set to include a giant online retailer, Amazon. Okay, now it's on Khoi land, and I know there's a whole lot of like, what about this Khoi land and that? I haven't covered that. I will try and find the source and put it into the comments below. I'm dreadfully sorry. But yeah, figures from the Stats SA, this is where I actually wanted to get on, is, you know what, you've got these people, and it is everybody. If you take a look, there is no color barrier at the back there. There is no male, there is no female, there is no black, there is no white. It is everybody that is desperate for work. Figures from Stats SA released this week showed South Africa's unemployment rate had climbed to 34.4%. And if you have listened to me before and have watched Morning Shot with Roman Kabanak religiously every day, I still watch it. I believe it's the best form of news analysis to get. Please, if you haven't, go along to Morning Shot, Roman Kabanak, subscribe to him. He actually brought it across as well as we are at least first in something. We are one of the highest, if not the highest, the country with the highest unemployment rate percentage at 34.4% in the second quarter of the year, compared with what they said was 23.3% in the same period last year. Using the conventional method of measurement, taking into account only those seeking jobs and not those who have given up looking. So we have possibly, most probably, most likely, I'm actually kidding myself if I'm trying not to say it, we do have more than 34.4% unemployment rate. The number of unemployed people have climbed from 4.29 million to 7.8 million over the year. And I do believe that those figures are higher. If we have to take a look at the accounting status of our governments, etc., etc. A chap, Milan, 24, he works in the tow truck industry, was among the job seekers. The father of a girl aged 6 said he wants to quit working in the industry because there is a lot of gang violence. Shanae Klassen, 29, lives in Kalksteenfontein near Elsie's River. She is a single mother of 3 and has been unemployed since the COVID-19 pandemic started. Cape Khoi Labour Forum member Dion Sampson said that the forum hopes to link people from poor communities to work opportunities. He said Wednesday's exercise was not to offer jobs, but to collect names of people who could potentially find work opportunities at the River Club redevelopment project. So it's collecting names for potential. It's not to fill jobs even. And people were there before 7 in the morning. Sampson said that by 7:05 on Wednesday, he had already captured 300 people on the database. And by 2:07, there were 726 names. And I'm sure that is a slow capture. If I see there's probably only 2 people. So that was probably a bit of a slow capture and a lot of forms to fill in. But yes, the situation in South Africa for employment is dire. Which sadly also leaves in question how badly can an employer treat an employee because they know they are dependent on the work. I know there's rules and laws and labor that covers you, etc., 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 but when you know that that is your bread and butter and there's at least 20 to 30 other people that can fill your position, the employee knows that as well. So it is a very, very tense, tight situation. Partying KwaZulu-Natal MEC finds Partying KwaZulu-Natal MEC fined half her salary for flouting COVID-19 rules. It's my party and I'll do what I want to. No. KwaZulu-Natal Health MEC Nomagugu Simelane-Zulu has been fined half her month's salary, handed a warning letter, and ordered by her boss, Premier Sihle Zikalala, to apologize within 7 days for breaching COVID-19 lockdown regulations when she attended her surprise party last week. Surprise! Half your salary's gone. Anyway, yeah. Zikalala demanded answers from Simelane-Zulu after Times Live published a video and photos of the MEC partying up a storm with friends on her birthday, where there was no social distancing and wearing of masks. At the time, Simelane-Zulu said the gathering was a surprise and said that she regretted that there was some flouting of COVID-19 regulations. However, she said health protocols were mostly followed, adding that she even made a comment to this effect as she arrived. It obviously didn't hit the media that way. And it didn't hit your salary pay packet that way as well. Which goes to say no one's above the law. Even Health MEC, let me repeat, the MEC is Health MEC, Nomagugu Simelane-Zulu. Right, a little bit of tension that is, I find that heading a little untrue to say tension, because there's not really tension at all that I can see, that I can actually pick up. I think it's just, once again, media throwing it into the bowl there, because tension brews in Cape Town over deputy mayor post. And I know they say, well, who's the other dude? We'll chat about him now. He's the current mayor has not been considered for mayor of Cape Town, and he's very upset about that. So trouble's brewing in the ranks of the DA in Cape Town after the shock announcement that Jordan Hill-Lewis is the party's mayoral candidate for Cape Town. And there we go. He's quite a youngster, but apparently he's probably spent the best part of the last 15 years in politics, has come up as very, very strong, has been a very, very good politician and lobbyist for the DA as such, and pretty much seems to be a straight and clean-cut guy. Now, I'm the first person to tell you that the DA are quite a bunch of hotheads. I believe that, but they get results and they get my vote. I don't want to sit around a tea party table with them. I don't want to go and watch their their horse polo or whatever, etc., etc. I want results. These are the guys that will get it for me. What their lives are like and how they feel about it, kudos to you. They get results, and that works for me. Right, so loyal party members are outraged that the party has overlooked competent black members, opting instead to go for what considered to be the least experienced candidate. Now, I'm sorry to say, but even when I was working in management positions and regional management positions, the person did not matter what age you were. It mattered how competent, how willing, and how much you wanted to do the work. So you could have been there 10 years and you could have been there 1 year, and I would have given a position to someone of 1 year and not the person of 10 years, all depending on the enthusiasm, capability, competency, and how badly they wanted as well. So Hill-Lewis is said to have the backing of the DA's top brass, including Federal Council Chairperson Helen Zille. If elected, the DA's constitution states its mayors are automatically the leader of a caucus in a municipality, and Hill-Lewis will be faced with uniting a party recovering from the departure of former mayor Patricia de Lille. Yes, I think he's going to have his cookies cut out for him. And I think he may just be the person who can bake the cake. De Lille went on to form the Good Party, taking with her disgruntled member of the mayoral committee, Brett Herron, who will try and get the mayoral chain for the party. Hill-Lewis appeared to have started the process of consolidating support already, with visits to Belleville, Athlone, Mitchells Plain, Claremont, and meeting with businesses. Okay, and this is why I say I think it is like overblown because of tensions, because Dan Plato, who's the current mayor, has pledged his support as DA selects Hill-Lewis as Cape Town mayoral candidate. Actually, Cape Town Mayor Dan Plato said he will support the DA's newly elected mayoral candidate, Jordan Hill-Lewis. Should the Democratic Alliance succeed at the upcoming local government election, and I have no doubt that our residents will continue to place their trust in us, Mr. Hill will be taking over the best-run city in South Africa. Now, that's a good stance to take, is to say, you know what, I've put together the best-run city, and Mr. Hill is going to take over the best-run city. Well done. Mr. Hill-Lewis will be taking over the best-run city in South Africa, and he will be in the best position to take the city of Cape Town and our residents forward to an even greater heights, Plato said. Plato previously launched a bid to secure another term as mayor ahead of the local government elections. However, Hill-Lewis managed to secure the party's support as its mayoral candidate. Hill-Lewis said, even under unprecedented strain, the party's rigorous selection process ensured that every aspirant candidate had a fair and equal chance to contest the mayoral position. No matter where you live, every Cape Townian must live in a place that is safe, clean, and with access to service and services that everyone needs for dignity. Hill Lewis added. And I think before that, he added that he would work day and night. Hill Lewis, mayoral candidate, comes at a time when the Constitution Court is yet to decide on the Independent Electoral Commission's urgent court application to have the local government election postponed to next year. I think it's more the ANC's desperation. A little bit of good news for those going to school. October school holidays won't be scrapped, despite the loss of more than half of the learning time last year. Angie Mochecha, the impact of COVID-19 resulted in 50% to 75% of school learning time being lost in 2020, said Basic Education Minister Angie Mochecha. Yeah, I don't know how long your holiday is in October, and I think it's only a week or two, but I'm honest in saying that maybe extend it a week into December and still give the holidays in October, because somewhere along the line, I even see when we've taken away a break at school over here, and it's online learning all the way, and we've said, okay, well, we're taking away this week over here and we're going straight through. These students have been extremely exhausted and burnt out by the time they got to their break as well. And I think they were just ready to, like, happy days in Samabula. Right. A little bit of tongue-in-cheek and a smiler as we come towards the end of Pepper's Echo today. In the history of South Africa, no one will forget the Pitra Mapedi story of the woman from Tembisa who broke the Guinness World Records by having 10 babies in one night. This story took the country by storm, as South Africans decided to have a national baby shower, and many people donated baby necessities to the family of the 10 babies, and others donating money, and things became sour when people realized that the news could be fake, as the pictures of the babies were non-existent. The whole country could have been played. Hospitals around the country did not have any record of the births, and from therefore, the parents' dirty laundry started coming out into public. Now, I think it's not only this, but I think in general, what has been happening, fake news. I think Ronaldo pulled it out as well on his show the other day. They were talking about prominent streams that were shouting out and saying, watch on Monday, there's going to be anarchy and everything is going to stand still, and there's going to be violence, and there's going to be ructions, and there's going to be spitting and throwing and kicking and farting and burping and everything in the streets, and be careful, and you people are going to die. And Monday came, and Monday went. And all that happened was that a stream had fearmongered. And it wasn't any of the streams that I always mention. I mentioned Ronaldo Khosa, I mentioned Morning Shot, Roman Kabanak, I mentioned Chris Wyatt from Chris Wyatt in Daba, Africa. I mentioned Joe Emilio for the Joe Show, and I always mention Germ as well. Although I must admit I have not watched Germ in a long time. And let's not forget Dizzy's Moments as well. And yes, I have not seen anything fake come from them. But from Down Under, there was one. And sadly, there was another one that sort of like has just said, wake up. There's going to be trouble. And that became fake news as well. And what these streamers, like Ronaldo and Morning Shot and Chris Wyatt and Joe and them all, are trying to say is, guys, please check your facts. You're making bad names for streamers because they do check facts. I'm not even a heavy fact checker, but I still do make sure that I get it out of a source. I don't try and make predictions, except for the fact that the ANC will never learn. But yeah, Let's take a look at a little bit of Nando's on the side here.
As you can see, South Africa is riddled with scams and fake news. Like this story that happened in a place called Ekurhuleni of a couple who announced that they're expecting 11 babies. 11 kids. That's unaffordable. So, South Africans from all over give money and gifts for what will forever be known as the Ekurhuleni 11. It soon became apparent that there was some trickery afoot because no one had actually seen the babies. At all. South Africa, you can't afford to believe fake news, but you can afford the Nando's Pepper and chips for 49 rands. No scams, just cheap. As you can see.
Okay. Let's not overdo it now. Yeah, I just really like that one. It was so many scams and so much that is being, I should say, fake news these days, and with streams being so easy and so, especially so prevalent during the lockdown, COVID times, pandemic times. You've got to be careful. And I love Nando's. Nando's, you know what? You can't argue with them. It's tongue in cheek, but it's truth in cheek that these guys play at. But yeah, and let us not forget, last but not least, happy birthday, Uncle Steve Hoffmeyer, on the 29th of August. And we are wishing him well because I believe he has contracted COVID as well. And it is really, really not going that well at all with him as well. He said, I think in a tweet or Twitter today, he actually took his oxygen off because it was his birthday for his little daughter. But just a little bit of biographical data. 57 years old. He was born in 1964 on the 29th of August in Pretoria. His zodiac birth sign is Virgo, the maiden, and his Chinese zodiac is the dragon. So very, very happy birthday to Steve. May you have many, many more. And we are hoping that you have a quick recovery as such. And I think that is it for me, guys. So from my side, yes, let's not push any fake news any further than fake ears. Be grateful for things every day, guys. It's really, really so important to be grateful for things. Vaccinate. You know what? I'm not one against it. I'm very, very much for it. I saw a thing the other day that said, my kids are not vaccinated and I'm not vaccinated and we're all fine. And I said, well, and then the other one says, well, my kids and I play in traffic and we're still all fine too. All depends on you. So before I leave, please do the like and subscribe. It's the only way I can get my message out, and share it as well, please. As I said, we've dropped 3 subscriptions, and I do believe it's because some people may have been offended. I'm sorry if I did. We can't always not unoffend people, but yeah, it's just a point of view, and it's a question for you. Do drop me a mail, peppersecho, PEPRSECHO, @gmail.com. No double P, no E after the P. RSECHO @gmail.com, or drop us a message in the comments below. Devon, yes, it was Anand. I like the new logo DVD. If you want to go and subscribe to some good gaming and some absolute shots, yeah, don't forget to ring the bell as well, to some really, really good gaming and shooting shots. a finer eye than what I have, do go and find its DVD, and you can follow him as well as such. From my side, thank you very much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. For those who are watching on a replay, thank you very much. This has been the Live Echo. My name's Andre. Take care, be good, and if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.